Welcome back to Esoteric Home. I am Jod, and it is Tuesday, October 22nd. I hope you are having a good week. I hope everything has been going well for you. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I cleaned my space. I reorganized. It feels wonderful in here. I have my Reiki table behind me. Kind of spent this past weekend just going through it. I had books everywhere, trinkets, all this stuff. So it feels really good in here to kind of get the space cleared out, rejuvenated. So yeah, tonight I have another Gallery of Magic book review. And tonight we are going to talk about one of their books, Magickal Destiny, Experience the Power of Your Holy Guardian Angel. And Gallery of Magic books are typically oriented toward very, very practical rituals, very kind of results-based magic. They kind of summarize things in a way where they don't give too much background or theory. They really kind of get down to the nitty-gritty techniques. This book is a little bit unique. There is definitely a lot of writing, and you can tell, however, as you're reading the book, that there are rituals embedded in the writing, and it's almost like it's one big spell. But it's a very important topic. In Western occultism, attaining knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel is often seen as like the pinnacle. There are a lot of practitioners who say this is really the first thing you should do in your magical journey is attain this knowledge and conversation. Because it's so important, because it will help guide your efforts in not just the spiritual realm, but in the practical realm moving forward. And there is a lot of importance to it, and it's extremely valuable. And I've had this book for just about 4 years to the month. It maybe came out just about around then, so I got it pretty much when it first came out. This book is not so much designed for practical rituals for, like, say, getting money or success or love or any of those things. Really, it is dedicated to helping you experience, recognize, and acknowledge your Holy Guardian Angel. So what is this Holy Guardian Angel? It means a little bit something personal and different to each one of us. But in the way that I experience it is the basically direct link between you and the unknowable mystery. It is your personal guardian angel that is just there to look after you, to guide you, to help you. It does not have it does not really care or concern itself with everybody else, except in the fact that it's there really just for you. Whereas a lot of these other spirits, a lot of these other angels, a lot of people call on them, a lot of people task them, work with them. Your Holy Guardian Angel is just yours. It is personal to you as your DNA, as your fingerprint. And there's something very intimate about that. There's something very personal about a being, a spiritual entity, your higher self, you can say, that is just there for you, knows you inside and out, may have created you and maybe the highest version of yourself, but it's really an extremely intimate connection and will help you in every area of your life. In a myriad of things. It will help you. It's almost like you have, you're the heads-up display, and you have the person who created the game kind of telling you what to do behind the scenes. So I kind of wish that when I kind of started this journey, I didn't really have a teacher. I kind of just dove in, tried a lot of stuff, experiment with a lot of stuff, and kind of just took it as it came. In my story, I talk about how I really focused on protection work first, which I think is great because it allowed me to have the sense of safety and stability to work on these longer term projects that were maybe more etheric, maybe more subtle. So the main ritual that most Western occultists know of when we talk about the Abramelin ritual is the Abramelin ritual. So it's a very long, very intense, there's very specific things you have to do. There's a certain amount of time, I can't believe it's like 6 months or 18 months or something, where you have to kind of have a specific place where you shut yourself from the external world. You do a lot of purification, you do a lot of prayer. It's a lot of very, very arduous and complicated stuff. I believe Aleister Crowley attempted it. I think something happened, he didn't finish it, but it's a ritual that if you want to, there's a couple different translations of it, but if you really want to follow by the book, it's a very long, just heavily complex process. I think that if that's something that calls to you, if that's something that interests you, then by all means, if you have the resources and the ability to do it by the letter, go for it. But one of the things that this book stresses is that that's not the only way, that there are as many ways to get in contact with your holy guardian angel as there are people, because contact, knowledge, and conversation is something really not so much that you like attain, that now you have it. It's something more that you realize that you've had, that can never be taken from you. And it's kind of more becoming aware of the presence of your holy guardian angel in your life. Yes, this angel will help you manifest your desires. Yes, your angel will help you with love, will help you with wisdom, will help you with all the desires of your heart. Yes, your holy guardian angel will help you with those things, but it's almost like a consistent presence in the background. And I do think it's very important, if you're just starting on this journey, to consider starting here. Consider starting with this ritual, with this attempt, because of its value. And there's plenty of literature out there talking about what the holy guardian angel is in all these different cultures. Everyone has a name for it. Everyone kind of has their own way of getting in tune with it, and also the importance of it. So as I said, this book is really, if you're looking for like a quick fix, if you're looking for something very specific, this is really kind of much more esoteric in what it offers, but it has a completely different feel to it, because it's designed to connect you with the very, very, very intimate, loving, knowing, powerful part. Really the closest, it's literally I feel like it's like your personal God. You're like, where there's all these different intermediaries. You can go through saints, you can go through Christ. Your holy guardian angel is really your best friend in this whole universe. So yeah, it's kind of laid out a little bit differently. It talks about kind of what is capable, what this book brings, what your destiny looks like. It paints a wonderful picture of what your life could look like once you have this thing. And it talks about what the book offers, the connection, kind of discovering the angel, telling you about kind of what to expect, giving you instances in your life that you're like, oh wait, that was the holy guardian angel, that was my HGA. It talks about contact, how it occurs, how, what to kind of expect, what not to expect, how it's a little bit different for everybody. The way that I look at it is like all of your life, all of your experiences, one direct communication between the creator of all that is in you. So the way that I see it is that your holy guardian angel is always talking to you, is always with you. Your entire day-to-day, moment-to-moment, year-to-year life existence is a message that's trying to be conveyed to you from the supreme intelligence source, whatever it is. So really all of life is this knowledge and conversation. But it can be difficult to discern the music from the noise. You can feel like you get a lot of static, a lot of mixed signals. So it's really about interpreting. It's almost like if you're reading a language that you've never been taught, but it's familiar to you. If someone could give you the codex or the key to that language and decipher it for you in real time. Because life, there's a lot of information, a lot of different situations, all these different aspects of what your existence looks like. So to be able to have someone to translate it in a way that not only is it meaningful, but it's helpful, awesome. Receiving the angel, basically just opening to its presence, learning how to listen, to hear, to use that sense, basically, to reach out for that angel that is always there, that is reaching out for you. And really, the second you decide that you want to make contact, the angel also is making contact with you. And then it's 7 main protocols. So it's 7 protocols. Damon Brand doesn't really give you a specific formula for like, hey, do it this many times, for this many days. It leaves it very much open. Start the protocols, gives you some hints, and then when you feel like you're ready, go on to the next protocol, which at the time was really refreshing, but also I did really well with like structured, like do it for 29 days. Go through the steps. So these are definitely more intuitive rituals, but there's 7 protocols. It's intentional opening, the angel support, active intention, releasing pain, perspective, recalling, manifesting at will. All very, very, very powerful protocols. You can tell that they're very logical and scientific almost in the way that they're described, but they're all things that I recommend anybody do, even if you don't believe in the HGA. There's a ton of value in what the rituals offer. 7 protocols. Talks a little bit about continuing the quest for contact after these rituals have been completed, after you've kind of gone through it, what next. And then it does have basically kind of 7 sigils, which are super cool. They look like they have like, Enochian. They're very cool. There's some traditional like 72-letter name. Beautiful, beautiful sigils. Very unique, very well thought out. And these sigils are designed both to kind of open you to contact, to kind of prepare the ground for contact, and then also get you accustomed to the energy. Like, what color are you looking for? What sound are you looking for? What does it feel like? So getting you, reunited with those subtle body energy levels that will allow you to experience contact and become more receptive to it. So, and then at the end, some additional thoughts, some final reading. Highly recommend it. It's definitely something that is an ongoing operation. You can only get closer to yourself. You can only know yourself more. It's definitely, if you're just starting out, or even if you've been on this journey for a while, and like me, you just discovered this, you kind of came into this maybe a few years into your practice. So much value. It's hard to describe in words what the experience is like. It's also hard to describe the amount of value that you derive from becoming, again, reunited, becoming acquainted, recognizing, becoming aware of what this actually means, what this actually is for you personally. And by all means, if you're gonna go again and you want to do the Abramelin ritual, this is a great place to start. You may find that you accomplish it without having to do that. You may, even if you've already done the Abramelin ritual, I think this is still offer a ton of value. There's a ton of stories, there's a ton of people who've gone through that ritual and have written about it, which are phenomenal to read. But yeah, Magickal Destiny, Damon Brand, experience the power of your Holy Guardian Angel, Gallery of Magic. Still very practical, still very concise, but a completely different book than most of the books that they put out. So hope you enjoy it. Check it out. I will put a Amazon link in the description. Thank you to the user and subscriber who suggested that. I need to do that for all my videos, but yeah, by the time I post this, I'll have an Amazon link if it's something that you're interested in. I also kind of wanted to just encourage you, I have been at this for 5-6 years, maybe consistently, seriously. And, if you're at a point in your practice where you're not seeing a lot of results, whether you're manifesting, whether you're praying, whether you're trying to become enlightened, whatever your goal is, I have noticed that doing something consistently day in, day out, regardless of what's going on in your external world, having that, whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but just continuing on the path, I'm starting to see results happen internally and externally that I can tell, like, man, I kind of asked for this a while ago, and it's just now perfectly coming together in a way that I couldn't even imagine. So this whole experience, in my perspective, is about making your life better. It's about getting you, getting what you want, when you want it, but also turning you into the person that you enjoy being with, maximizing your human potential, figuring out what happens after you die, figuring out what happens when you go to sleep, figuring out what this wild, crazy, eclectic experience called life is for you. And it can definitely be a little challenging when you have narratives that are being pushed, mainstream religious thinking, and if one of those religions calls to you and has worked for you and helps you and you believe, then by all means. But taking the spiritual path and the magical path of learning how to figure out to think for yourself, learning out what you believe, even if it's not popular, even if it's a little bit unnerving, figuring out what the truth is, what your truth is, and learning how to walk in that power, very, very, very rewarding. I'm very blessed to live in America, where we have a lot of freedoms that may or may not be available elsewhere, but we can talk about these things, we can learn about these things. It is a wonderful time to be a student of wisdom. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you to the subscribers who've been with me since the beginning. I really appreciate you. Also, let me know in the comments if you've used this book, if there's another technique, if you just had a spontaneous, connection and this experience happened to you, almost like a spontaneous Kundalini experience. If there's no method at all, it was just out of the blue. And tell me what your experience is with your Holy Guardian Angel. And with that, I will see you in the next one.